Hey, if you haven't already, it's always a good time to like, subscribe, or share to One Life. Never miss a visit with Dr. Trey Ahia.
I remember when I was just a little boy. I loved my dad. I loved my mom. And I remember wanting to always be around my dad. But my dad was so abusive to me. He would hit me, he would throw things, hit me in the head, punch me in the chest real hard. Just break me down. Now my dad is older and I'm older. And I don't feel the same way. Even though I love him, I don't feel the same way about my dad. I just don't understand now what to do, which way to go in my life. I want to go to my dad and ask him questions, but every time I go to him, he yells at me and he calls me terrible names. He doesn't even look at me like I'm a young man now. But I'm 18. So now what? The decision is mine.
The first time it happened, I was just a little girl. I loved my dad. He was my favorite person. I remember I was about 5 or 6 years old, and my dad always took me wherever he went. And my mother would always tell me to go with him. My dad used to sit me on his lap and he would tell me, "This is what daddies that love little girls do." And he would touch me and feel me and kiss me and make me kiss him and make me touch him. And the first time it happened, I remember it hurt so bad. I didn't know what to do. I cried. He told me not to tell my mom. When I got to be 13 years old, I remember my dad said, "Now it's time for you to be a woman." And that's when he penetrated me. Welcome to One Life with me, your host, Dr. Trey Ahia. In our last 5 visits, we have been exploring parenting and the impact parenting has on young people, people that are growing up and developing in today's society. And we looked at Diana Bombrine. We looked at parenting styles. We asked the question, who is the person that determines whether a child will be successful in life or not? The choices that they'll make. Seems like it's the parents, the adult, the caregiver. You could be a grandmother, you could be an aunt, an uncle, whoever you are, and you're caring for a child. It seems like you get the power to determine the outcome for this young person. So parenting is extremely important. Not being a child's friend and that sort. Making sure they have their basic necessities like Abraham Maslow suggested. So now we're moving away from the parenting concept to these next sessions that we'll look at titled No More. I'm 18. What happens when they get to be 18? And you've parented them the way you thought best with all you could. Well, what happens now? Who's in charge now? Legally, at 18, looks like the young person is responsible for themselves. Well, to go deeper into this evening, we have another co-host. Our guest host tonight is Miss Deborah Burgess. Let's welcome her.
Hello, my fancy brains. How are you? I'm Deborah Burgess. I am a school counselor in the Lee County School District. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Excellent. Yes, I'm so glad you're here, Miss Burgess. So, how would you weigh in on this thought of, hey, I'm 18 now. How do you weigh in on the ability for a young teen, still a teenager, to go out into the world given the parenting style that they came from?
Okay. The title for this evening is No More 18 Now.
Yes.
Basically, they need a secret to their success.
And what would
And with the secret to their success
yes.
comes choices.
Okay.
Every decision has a consequence, good or bad. Choices are made every day. What to eat, what to wear, where to go to school. Choices also shape who we are and what we become. Choices shape our future. With that, I have a little slogan I would like to share.
Okay.
The slogan is, the choices you make today will determine the life you will lead tomorrow. So remember, it's not where you've been that counts, it's where you're going.
So it's
It
interesting.
starts with choices,
Yes.
and then next it starts with who you are and what you will become.
You know what interests me about what you just said, Ms. Burgess, you said they cannot change certain things, and you went on talking about their race and where they were born. When you mention race, it makes me think of the fact that they're a human. And you also, I think, meant about their ethnicity. If I'm a Latin American, if I'm an African American, if I'm Asian, is that what you meant as well?
Right.
Okay, so there's certain things that there's no matter what they do, no matter what clothes they wear, they are who they are. And a lot of times the world perceives them as such, even though they might not feel or behave as such. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
As long as they have the desire and the will to live and love themselves, they can become who they would like to be in this next phase of their life.
But wait a minute, Miss Burgess, hold up, wait a minute. If I came from an environment where I was sexually assaulted, I was abused, I was kidnapped from the mall when I was 11 years old and became a sex slave, you're telling me that when I become 18, I have a choice to change that?
We all have choices. You have a choice. Yes. It doesn't matter where you come from, you have a choice. It may take you a little longer to aspire and to achieve your goals, but in the end, if you have that determination and the will and the drive, you can make it happen.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes. There's so many young people who come out of that poor parenting mode and they struggle to make the best choices they can. You know, growing up in an environment where all I saw was people drink and do drugs, and I saw that a lot of people made money as a result of it. So why shouldn't I go and sell drugs or maybe promote sexual promiscuity and make money from that? So your suggestions are that I can have a choice as a young 18-year older. I have a choice not to continue or to perpetuate what I encountered via the parenting that I had, because I can't change my parents, you're saying.
You can't change that, but you can move forward. And you can move forward through the knowledge that God has given you. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you learn, the more you will earn, and that knowledge will give you the chances to move from that part of your life that you want to put in your past. So after getting the knowledge base with a high school diploma. Then you become the education beyond high school.
Okay.
What can I look forward to? It might take longer. You may not receive the financial rewards as you would as a person selling on the street, or the promiscuity of the street life, but you have that inner self rewarding that says, I've made it, I'm determined. So with education beyond high school, you can start wherever you want. You can start at a vocational school with a trade, an apprenticeship with getting learning from someone else who's very competent in plumbing or carpentry, or with barbering as a hairdresser.
Yes.
Then military is also a good way to get out of that past that the person has lingered with for years, you know?
Yes,
with the military, you can go into a 2-year community college or a 4-year university. So the path that you take is the one that is within your heart. You have to research and decide which area you would like to move into.
You mean even if I wanted to become a rapper, I could even go down that path? Or maybe I want to be a YouTube sensational or a TikTok or Snapchat sensational? I could go that path?
It's your choice. It's your choice. And remember, some avenues may be a little longer than others.
Yes.
But like I said, if you have that determination and that will and the drive to be successful in that career, you can make it happen.
I like it. So then if I am struggling to make the appropriate choice, because remember, I grew up in an environment that really wasn't that good, and I used to get hit in the head all the time by my mom or my dad. They would throw things at me. So I'm really sad about where I'm 18. The law says I'm an adult now, but I'm still a teenager. So what should I do specifically? 3 things I should do specifically to turn around that brain concept, that the way my mind is thinking. What should I do?
Well, everybody struggles. Everyone goes to some degree. Everyone goes through different type of traumatic events.
Yeah.
My key is that, like I said before, knowledge is power. No one can take the knowledge from you. So if you have a key person in schools, which is your counselor or teacher,
or even a favorite
your pastor.
Yes, pastor, yes.
Your pastor, yes. Community leaders. There are people in the community who are out there to assist you.
All right.
And we want to help our young people to advance and become successful.
Well, you have certainly enlightened the audience, our young audience, and even their parents. And I appreciate you taking the time to spend during this visit. Now, I have to ask you, Ms. Burgess, this is not going to be the last time that we see you, is it? Come on now.
No, it won't be the last time.
Excellent.
I hope to see you again.
Yes, sounds great. And I appreciate the wisdom that you have provided this particular visit with. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy holidays.
Have you subscribed, liked, or shared this channel with anyone yet? What? What are you waiting for? Hey, I look forward to visiting with you next week. Remember, subscribe to this channel. Peace. Today's episode of One Life is sponsored by Soon Photography, the media that gets you noticed. Remember to live your life to the fullest, because you only get